Hey Descendants, Ricochet here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the good, the bad, and the what the fuck were you thinking Nexon parts of the First Descendant. So I like this game a lot, I've put a lot of hours into it. I think the gunplay is some of the best I've experienced in any looter shooter. The character designs are really good. Over-sexualized, yes, but well designed nonetheless. The overall graphics are sharp. And the audio is superb. There's nothing better, in my opinion, than loading into a map and hearing the distant gunshots, letting you know that there are other players doing missions. It just overall feels very nice. And at its core, I think this has the potential to be an exceptional looter shooter. Of course, like any game, it doesn't come without its problems, and one of the first problems that you'll come across is the story, which is just straight up bad. I found myself losing interest very quickly. It was dull, the voice acting was poor, and I just simply didn't care. The saving grace was the fact that the gameplay was good, and I was having fun getting my Descendant stronger and stronger as I went. So, endgame is where it's all at, and that's when we're going to be spending most of our time discussing my likes and dislikes in the game. And we're going to start with my likes, and one of the big features that I do like is that everything in the game is accessible. It is accessible for free, and you can target farm. So, you can target farm Descendants, weapons, enhancement materials, modules, pretty much anything that you can get in the game, you can come in here and you can target farm. So if you want to get an Azestra's Devotion, for instance, you can come in and it will tell you where to get all the materials, where to get the blueprints, and you just click on the item and it will tell you where you can go to get that. So that is, again, fantastic. Like that, like it a lot. Does it make it easy? No, RNG plays a big part, and it can be very fucking frustrating if we're being honest. However, there is also that immense feeling of euphoria once you've actually got the item that you're looking for. So I like the Descendants. There's something for everybody. They're all individually enough, and if you want to do fire damage, for instance, you can pick Lepic. If you like cold damage, you can do pick Viessa, electricity, ultimate bunny, or bunny, just bunny. The fact of the matter is that there's plenty of choice. However, that does come with a problem, and that is that the game requires you to unlock multiple Descendants, and we'll get into why that is a big problem. So if you want to target farm certain materials for certain things in the game, like energy activators for instance, you are going to need to have unlocked Enzo. You need to get these materials from encrypted storage boxes, and Enzo slows down the minigame that you play to be able to access those materials. Now, it's not so bad for just the standard code breakers, but when you get into the precision and the ultra precision code breakers, the game speeds up quite dramatically, and there's more to do. To guarantee that you're going to get those materials, you really do need Enzo. So the game requires you to have unlocked him. To farm certain other materials, you will also going to need another Descendant, and that is Sharon. So here we have these zone recon missions, which basically are outposts, and you'll see that they have additional rewards for successful infiltrations. Now, you need Sharon and her stealth tech to be able to go into these missions, and you have to activate her camouflage. She then needs to activate the power units to be able to immediately spawn the boss, and then you can have a chance of getting those additional rewards. And like I said, you can only do that with Sharon. Now, if you don't have Sharon, there are obviously other players in the game that potentially do, but that's not always guaranteed. So, you know, in order to guarantee getting these materials, you are going to need to unlock Sharon. Now, Sharon is a little bit easier to get over Enzo, because with Enzo, you need the blueprints and the materials, but with Sharon, you actually just need the blueprints. So it is a lot easier. They have made that much better for people to unlock. However, it's still a pain. And again, we'll get into why that is. So you have your main Descendant, and let's say that you've either used the one you unlocked at the start of the game, or you've bought yourself an ultimate Descendant, and you then get Bunny, and Bunny, as we know, is fantastic for farming. So you've got Bunny, you've got your original descendant, whoever that may be. Then you need to unlock Enzo and you need to unlock Sharon. Now you're going to have to invest into their modules. Again, this can be quite expensive because Kuiper is a premium. So you need plenty of Kuiper shards, you need plenty of gold, and then you're going to need all the other bits in order to make these descendants more powerful. Now Enzo in his own right is actually really quite a powerful bosser, and is a good character to have. So he's a good descendant, no doubt about that, and you might want to invest in him anyway. So let's say that you are concentrating on, and I'm going to base this on 3 descendants, and you're going to want to invest in those descendants. You're also going to want to invest in the weapons for those descendants, and again, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt here, and we'll just say you're going to use 3 weapons, main weapons that you want to invest in. Now, for each of those, you are going to want to put crystallization catalysts in to increase your mod capacity, because as we know, crystallization catalysts half the cost of your mods. And you're also going to want to use an energy activator to increase your mod capacity by 20 for descendants and 30 for weapons, okay? So, let's say that you've got your 3 descendants, you've got your 3 weapons, right? That's 6 energy activators. You are then going to want your crystallization catalysts. Now, depending on what descendant you've unlocked, if you've got an ultimate, you're only going to need 8 crystallization catalysts. If you've got a normal descendant, you're going to need 10. And we're going to base this on normal descendants just because the average player is, pretty much going to have normal descendants, and we'll use ultimate weapons because once we get to a certain point in the game, rare weapons become defunct, and we'll get into that in a second. So let's say that we're going to do that and we're going to invest all of that into those descendants and weapons. Now, you're going to need 6 energy activators and you are going to need your crystallization catalysts. And for your crystallization catalysts alone, they take 7.5 hours each to research, and it's 36 hours for your energy activators. So, your energy activators are going to take 216 hours to research, and your crystallization catalysts for all of those are going to take 405 hours to research. And that's notwithstanding the fact that you might want bossing setups, etc. as well. So, we're just basing this on one particular setup for each of your descendants and your weapons, etc. So, basing it on that, you're going to take, like I said, 216 hours for your energy activators, and you are going to take 405 hours for your crystallization catalysts. But let's say you don't want to invest all that time, okay, and you want to buy them instead. Now, as we know, energy activators are 1200 caliber in the shop, and crystallization catalysts are 300 in the shop. That is going to cost you, in total, 23,400 caliber, which works out at about £324, or £325, sorry, and however much that is going to cost you in the dollar equivalent. So it's not cheap. So as part of that, we're going to get on to my next issue with the game, and that is the crafting restrictions. I have a real problem with this. You can only craft 5 things at a time. So if you're crafting a crystallization catalyst and the energy activator, one of your slots is tied up for 36 hours and one of your slots is tied up for 7.5 hours, which means that you've only got 3 available slots to do everything else that you want to do. So if you want to craft, say, materials for your weapons, you've only got 1 slot for that, and then if you want to craft, say, you want to craft things for a weapon, you're actually going to individually need to craft these 3 things here, and then you're going to need to craft the weapon itself when all of those, when you have all of those materials available. So that means that you are going to be very, very restricted, and I don't like that at all. I think it's absolute bullshit, and Nexon really needs to sort this out. In Warframe, which I'm going to make that comparison, people probably aren't going to like that very much, but let's be honest, they're 2 games that are very closely related. In Warframe, you can craft as many things as you want, as long as you're not crafting duplicate items. So the fact that you would have these 2 slots tied up for as many hours as they're going to be tied up wouldn't be such a huge problem if you could craft everything else that you need. Again, I don't have a problem with not being able to craft duplicates. It's fine. I think crystallization catalysts at 7.5 hours is a bit too long, if I'm being honest, considering how many of them you need and how little effect that they have on your descendants and your weapons. I really do think they need to halve that time. 4 hours is plenty, same as an ultimate weapon, and you know, I would be good with that. 100%. Energy activators can stay at 36 hours. We know how powerful they are. They give you 20 capacity for your descendants and 30 capacity for your weapons. Not a problem. But everything else, just let us craft what we want. We farmed this shit. We farmed all the stuff, you know, that we need for the weapons, for other descendants, for whatever. Just let us craft it. I don't see the big deal. I really don't. And it's like you're afraid to just let us, you know, progress in the game just in case we go and play something else. You know, ultimately, we're going to do that anyway. And if, you know, you keep tying us behind this this kind of time gating, we are just going to get bored and go and play something else anyway. So, you know, please, for God's sake, Nexon, just let us craft everything that we want to craft when we want to craft it. Like I said, duplicates accepted. I don't have a problem with that. Now, as far as weapons are concerned, rare weapons, once you get to a certain point in the game, they're pretty defunct. We know this. They're just taking up inventory space. You can use level 100 weapons to actually transmit your new ultimate weapon. So if you get a new ultimate, it comes out at level 1. You can use a rare weapon and put it into a level 1 weapon to immediately get it up to level 100. And that's about as much use as they are after a certain point. The only other use that they have, and it's a bit of a pain, is to increase your mastery level, right? So your mastery rank, if you actually wanted to get it up to rank 30, you'd need to unlock all the descendants in the game. You'd need to rank them all up to level 40, and you'd need to get your weapon level proficiency up to level 40 for every gun in the game. And that's going to take a long time. And you know, if I'm being honest, there are guns that I just don't want to use. I don't, you know, I shouldn't have to, unless you're going to make them relevant. Then, you know, just we need to do something about it. They need to be relevant. That is the long and short of it. While we're on the subject of weapons, if you want to make adjustments to these attributes on your guns, then you come in here and you can roll these for one of these materials. Fine adjustment control axis materials. Now that is absolutely fine. One, and you get you re-roll all 4 of these. But if you want to start locking things in, it then becomes more expensive. So you lock 1 in, it's the 2. You lock 2 in, it's 5. You lock 3 in, then suddenly it's 20, and it's fucking expensive. You're talking 100,000 gold and 20 of these materials to then roll this last one to get what you want. And obviously you've less chance of getting what you want because there's more of a pool to go at when you're just rolling one of these. This is too much. It is absolutely insane how much that is. That at least needs to be halved, because I'll explain more as I go here. So we'll go back over to an A, and I will just show you very quickly that if you come in here and you want to craft those fine adjustment control axes, you are going to have to obviously spend these materials. Now there's plenty of them, okay, so that's not a huge problem, right? But if we crafted 100, it's going to cost us 1.5 million gold. It's going to take 2.5 hours, and it's going to cost us 10,000 of those materials, right? But if you actually look at it, and you are just wanting to do one of those affixes on your guns, that's only 5 rolls. You're getting 5 rolls out of 100 materials that are taking 2.5 hours to craft. It just needs to be sorted out. It's nonsense. I don't like it. You know, we shouldn't have to spend that much time and effort getting those things, and then it being so expensive to roll those options on your guns. Ammo has also been an issue in the game as well. If we're talking about carrying 2 weapons of the same ammo type, they take from the same ammo pool. So both these weapons have general rounds. Your max round capacity, I believe, is 300 for general rounds, or 400 possibly, but they're both taking from that same pool. They should have their own individual ammo pools. That's the first thing. And secondly, we need more ammo dropping, especially in boss fights. Boss fights, it's absolutely crazy how many times I have to go back and resupply my guns because there just isn't enough ammo dropping from the ads in those boss fights. So again, that's something that really does desperately need to be sorted out. So let's very quickly talk about something that they did add to the game that was quite nice, and that is events. So we've had daily events where you can get extra Kuiper, extra XP boosts, etc. for your weapons, for your Descendants, and that's actually been quite helpful. They've just added Freyner's Encrypted Vault Shop, which again is quite a nice little feature. You can earn 5 points a day, which doesn't sound a lot, but you can actually get some good things with these, so that's a bit of a win. It costs you 40 points for a crystallization catalyst, but you know, I'm okay with that. You can get 3 of those over the whole event. The event goes on for a month as well, so that's not too bad. You can get them. You can get these materials up here. You can get weapon blueprints, XP boosts, gold boosts, Kuiper boosts. You can actually get gold and Kuiper as well, and you can get an infinite amount of those. Some of these do have restrictions on them as well, but I think they're restricted to 30, which again that's 1 a day for a month. So that's again not too bad. You can get code breakers and code analyzers. You can only get 2 of each of these, and 4 of the normal code breakers and code analyzers. But again, I think that's a nice little feature. It's good that they've done that and they're thinking about the gamer for a change, which is lovely. So now we come to my main dislike within the First Descendant, and the part of what the fuck were you thinking, Nexon, and that is the shop. And I have quite a big problem with some of the things that are in this shop. Let's start with the good though, and that is the Battle Pass. Okay, so the Battle Pass, I think they actually did a really great thing with the Battle Pass, and we'll just get to that in a second. I would have said when the game first came out that the Battle Pass just isn't worth it. However, they've put ultimate weapons in the Battle Pass. You can get 2 copies of the ultimate weapon for free, which, you know, is a good thing. If you want all 4 copies and the skin, you have to buy the Battle Pass. Okay, fair enough. But the thing that really has made this Battle Pass worth it is the addition of the crystallization catalyst and the energy activator. Now, this has gone some way to, you know, making the gamer feel respected. When you buy a Battle Pass, you're basically getting triple the value of the Battle Pass back. So 500 caliber gets you 1500 caliber worth of materials back at the end of the Battle Pass when you've completed it. So that's good. I like that. I'm happy with that. What I'm not happy about is this, and that is that these are even in the shop in the first place. I don't like it. I don't think they should be there. And what makes it even worse is the fact that if you want to buy those things, you have to buy more caliber than you actually need. If you're going to have them in the shop, let us just buy 300 caliber. You need to stop this predatory bullshit. It's not good. I don't like it. Nobody likes it. It's a tack that's employed by a lot of companies, and it really needs to stop. Gamers are not just a commodity. We're just there to rinse for money. Our time and effort in your game should be respected. And if you want us to keep playing the game, this is the kind of thing that needs to be sorted out. If you have items that are priced in your shop, make it so that we can buy the correct amount of caliber for those items, and that would go a long way to making that better. I'm not going to say it's okay, because it's not. Again, I still don't like the fact that these are in the game. Ultimate Descendants, I have less of a problem with these, because ultimately, if you want to buy one of these, it's pretty much the price of a game, I guess. I think I'd like to see them cheaper, so this bundle I think should be around the 3,000 caliber mark, maybe even less, if we're honest. The game being free, give us the opportunity to support your game. I think that is the key here, and it's something that Warframe and Path of Exile do very, very well. And if you don't know Path of Exile is an ARPG. It's a free-to-play ARPG, and they have support packs. There is nothing in that game that you have to buy that makes you any better. So it doesn't make your character stronger. It doesn't make any difference to your gameplay. Okay, but they have skins and packs in the game that you can buy in order to support the game. The fact that the game is really, really good makes you want to support them. And that is the key for me, is that, you know, if a game is exceptional, if the practices within that game are not predatory and they are towards supporting the gamer, you are then more likely to want to support the developer. You're going to want to put money into the game to keep the game going, to keep it supported. And this is, you know, something that Nexon really needs to get behind. And that comes down to skins. I think the skins cost too much. You know, $7.50 for a skin is, you know, again, I think it's way too much. The fact that they're also selling head skins and body skins separately. I mean, come on, just get this out of the game. Get it out of the game. Just sell a skin and make it a reasonable price. I mean, drop it down to, you know, 300 caliber. I think that's more than fair. Because some of these skins are nicely designed, and people are more likely to want to spend money on them if they're cheaper. And, you know, like I said, people want to support your game. They're gonna put money into the game. And that's just the long and short of it. Anyway, that's enough from me. Please do drop a like if you've enjoyed the video. Please also consider subscribing. It really helps support the channel and helps me make future content for you. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Take care. Have a good one.